you little farts. Welcome to the Danger K and Friends Christmas Show. Merry Christmas and season's greetings, you little farts.
Long time no see, everyone. Danger K and Friends is back. We had to come back and do one more episode before the end of the year, so Merry Christmas. Tonight we have Toby Cooper and Jocelyn Eckert joining us, good friends of mine. We got a weird show for you tonight. Some odd skits. Never know what we're going to come up with, but I hope you like it. Stay tuned. Danger K. Merry Christmas. It's been a long time since we've had an episode. It's been a crazy year with COVID and everything. We've all suffered through it. And tonight I got some real good friends of mine that we've met through the movie making business. And so we're just going to shoot the shit and see what's going on. Thanks for coming on the show, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, our pleasure.
I got Toby Cooper and Jocelyn Eckert,
Blue.
aka Bloody Brush.
Bloody Brush
Bloody
93.
So I met Jocelyn a little before Toby, and tell them how we met, Jocelyn.
My mom sold me at a bar. This is the best way to explain it. My mom worked in a bar, and Dusty and a friend was up there just hanging out, listening to music, and she started talking about my special effects makeup from working in haunted houses and going to the zombie walk. And he decided to have me come to his house for a 1 hour challenge. I ended up doing makeup for 1 hour with a whole bunch of people I had never met before. My mom arranged this whole thing and was like, okay, you need to be there at this time. Here's the phone number and here you go. I was like, okay. Showed up, powered out the 1 hour challenge, and ended up being makeup artist with SKB. Yeah. And that's how I met Dustin K.
And that was like, what, 5 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Toby, we met what?
We met in an audition for your movie Cocaine
3 years
and
ago?
Werewolves.
Cocaine and Werewolves, yeah.
Was that in 17 or it was 18, wasn't it?
3 years ago.
2017.
17.
Yeah.
Yep.
But hopefully we'll be seeing that next year. It is in post-production, so that's cool. But yeah, man, I remember meeting you, Toby, and it was like, you know, you were just going to be an extra, and you and Mindy showed up, and was there, I mean, you know, because it's not like we're paying and hiring a bunch of people to build our sets and stuff, so we all chip in together, and man, you guys were just awesome, you know what I mean? And
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I know when we showed up that day, because that was like our first start into any of this. And initially, we knew we were going to do it for like a couple of months probably beforehand. And then when that Sunday came, because it was on a Sunday, I told Mindy, she'd never been part of this. She had, when me and her first got together, she'd never even been around like big crowds. So I always had like my, music friends that were in like the hardcore punk scene. So I got her used to that a little bit, going to the Melody Inn, kind of broke her in by being around different people. And then, so she was, pretty copacetic with that. And then this thing came up and was just like, well, it's just an audition for a movie. Like I said, I had no idea who you were or anything. I got it through a high school buddy, through a Facebook message. Hey, you might be interested in this. So then I told her, we woke up, I was just like, well, it's Sunday. We're going to go do that, little audition, see how that goes. And I don't think either one of us really had any nerves about it. We didn't know what we was getting into. And I was just like, just look at it this way. We're going to go there. They're probably going to say no. And then we'll just go out to breakfast. That was our plan. And then we're there for 30 minutes. I think you guys were looking for 80 people that day.
Yeah.
And like 40 or 50 of us showed up.
Yeah.
And then randomly, we're just kind of like taking it in, don't know what to expect, signed the little waivers, and then Dustin was just like, okay, so everybody here, you're in the movie if you want to be in it. We're just like, what? Hot damn, I guess we're in a movie.
Yeah.
Totally went different than what we expected. So
Yeah.
that was the start of what's turned out to be a pretty great journey
Yeah.
for both me and Mindy.
Your beard was as
Was
short
almost
as-
non-existent.
It
It
was
was-
as short as mine, if not shorter,
Yeah.
when we first met.
Yeah, exactly. I look back on pictures of that sometimes. I'm just like, look how much we grew into people that didn't know crap. And now all of a sudden we're like trusted individuals. Like, is Toby and Mindy gonna make it to set? Oh my God! Like people like lose their shit. I'm like, dude, I guess we're valued. This is
Jocelyn-
pretty cool.
Jocelyn called me earlier today, or you actually texted me last night saying that you were going over lines for another movie and stuff like that. So, tell me, like, how many, since you met me that day doing the 1 hour challenge, just give us like a real quick, how many projects you've worked in since that day.
Well, we did SKB. I hopped in on Belly Timber, and then we did our short Dover Road, and then after that we did Cocaine and Werewolves.
Which you were the lead effects artist on.
Lead
that.
special effects artist on. That was pretty awesome. I loved making the suit. It was definitely fun. And then I went from that. What else did I go to? Now I'm having a brain fart.
Witch House.
Yep, Witch House. And then I went from Witch House to later a post-apocalyptic thriller. And then I went from that to...
And you was in that too, right? You
Yep,
were in,
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
both in that. We
Yeah.
actually drove up together.
We did.
Yeah,
That was an
carpool.
exciting journey.
It was a tight pack in my little car.
Where's
was.
that? In Fort Wayne?
That was in Illinois.
Yep.
I
That was up in, was
can't
it?
think of the name of the town.
No, not Flint.
No.
No.
Karen
Nobody's doing
Trine
anything
is in
in
that
Flint.
also, right?
Huh?
Karen's
Yeah,
in that?
Karen.
Mhm.
She's in that.
And that was your second film, right, Toby?
Yeah, that was my second one. I actually had a little small speaking role that we basically just, I was told to write my own lines. So it's kind of freaked me out a little bit because I was just like, it's a cool opportunity, and the director was just like, he felt bad he's giving me a small part.
Is that like what year is that supposed to be in that movie? Did they even tell you?
It's 5 years after the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that is.
So whatever year that they promote that to start, I'm
I
not sure.
gotcha. Is that done?
No, it's
Close.
still in editing. It's very close. But it's just like a couple more things and it's done. So, there was also, this year I ended up picking up The Embalmers, and I went from meeting the amazing people on the set of The Embalmers, and I ended up picking up working on He Knows, which we're filming for now, Scarlet.
Steve Morris, right?
Yep, with Steve Morris. And then I'll be working on Scarlet next year with Samuel. And then he's
Vanessa?
actually, yep. And he's the director of Violet. So Scarlet is a spinoff from, or is the next one from Violet. And then I'm working on, I said He Knows. And then
So you got all kinds of things. you've
all
done
kinds of
since then.
things.
Yeah, that's
All
awesome.
kinds. I just filmed for Holy Shit Man today. So.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, Holy Shit Man. It's definitely going to be a very interesting, funny movie. I'm excited. It's gory and a little shitty, I mean,
It's more comedy, a little
more
bit. I heard.
comedy.
Yeah.
And you'll understand too when you get to see the film. It's very awesome. I love it.
Well, let's enjoy some literature, shall we? From little Nicky Carter. She is a little brat, you know. I got my eyes on you, Nicky.
Hello, my name is Vicky Cabo. And this is my friend Bugsy, my little companion for so many years. Tonight we're going to share with you our favorite Christmas poems. And I hope you guys enjoy it. So for now, sit back, relax, grab your favorite blanket, cup of hot cocoa. I'm going to read you these awesome poems. Shiny red baubles can be a sign of the season, but for my brother, NSTD was the reason. If you do something at Christmas that's either risque or rude, then don't be surprised at all if it ends up on YouTube. Golly. I decided to spice up Christmas, and along with some scanties, bought her some special toys. Cost me a fortune on batteries. A little boy wrote to Santa Claus, "Please send me a brother." Santa Claus wrote back, "Okay, send me a mother." Again? I found her sitting in my study, as she was completely in the nutty. So given the delicate situation, I exploited her infatuation. As the church bells rang, we started Christmas with the bang! That's for you there, buddy. Jeez. Alright, that's it for now. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Good night, everybody.
Now let's check in with some friends of mine. The Psycho Barbers. Ah, season's greetings, you little rats.
Toby, now, you know, Cocaine and Werewolves, you were just came in as an extra, but you obviously did a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I initially I started off being a party goer.
Right.
That was the thing, but
I mean, we were set building, doing all kinds of stuff.
I was super excited to take in anything, just like, I just basically wanted to be a sponge, so anything I could possibly help with. You guys needed to, you know, set painted at one point in time. It's like, hey, I'm a painter. I can at least add that into there.
Yeah.
You know, help move things around.
But then you went on to You're in Witch House also with Jocelyn. That's Bob Easley film, and you guys. What exactly was your role on that? I mean, I don't think you did.
Initially, I was just going to be a key grip.
Yeah.
I mean, thanks to you referencing me to that film to begin with.
Yeah.
So, I was just like happy to be there.
Bobby,
This guy shows up and just like, that guy's the man. I'm still getting to know people. And I said like 4 words to Easley at that point, probably. And he's just like randomly like, that guy right there, he's the man. Oh shit, okay. So I just went on, and it was about 3 or 4 days into
had to
that
be
movie.
the man.
Right.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days into that movie, and it was like the same thing as with you, just trying to be a sponge, take everything in you can, help wherever you can, and just be a busybody. Don't be the guy standing around, doing nothing or smoking cigarettes out back, just waiting to be told.
Right.
So we just kind of pitched in, and then it was either my third day, I brought Mindy into it. Didn't ask. You know what I mean? I was just like, let me get my feet wet, get in the door. After going there for 2 or 3 days, I'm just
Never
like,
gonna
okay.
turn down another helper.
No, and like, I didn't ask.
Yeah.
I was just like, so you want to go with me today? And she's like, are you sure it's okay? No. Well, I was like, we'll go anyway, and we went there, and as soon as we walked in, within seconds, she met Bobby, and she had to run upstairs to go use the restroom in the haunted Hannah house that she's never been in.
Well, that place, real quick, the Hannah House. Now, that's a legendary house in Indiana,
Yeah.
and it's a historical haunted house.
Yes.
Did you guys ever? I mean, because you've been there for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Have you,
2 years.
Did you witness? Did you like any paranormal
felt
activity?
I felt it.
I
Anybody?
actually seen an apparition from about the waist down walk out of Grandma's room, walk right behind me as I was putting on the sound gear. At that time, I was
Really?
the only one upstairs. Everybody else is downstairs, still finishing eating. I always want to be well ahead of things because you never know what Bobby's going to throw at you.
Yeah.
Hey, we're taking a 10-minute break. 2 minutes later, where's the audio guy? Oh shit! You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm done eating. Let's go upstairs and get the audio, together because I left it upstairs on the table. I went up there, wasn't thinking about nothing, just kind of felt that weird cold chill. And you got to think, we've been going at that point in time for 3 or 4 days straight, like an elongated weekend. So everybody's kind of strung out on sleep. So you're like, am I seeing something because of that? But I could have swore I seen something look like, somebody from like the slacks down, shoes and all, took 2 or 3 steps across the hallway, stepped into a room right behind me. So I got the super cold chills, just grabbed my stuff downstairs about as quick as I've ever went down those stairs and didn't say shit to nobody.
Really?
Very good. You better be nice, or I'm gonna visit you in the middle of the night. Now, word from our sponsor, Little Willie Nates.
Good evening. I'm Willie Hates. It's been a long, long time in the making, but well worth the wait, as this was comprised by my great-great-grandfather Felix Lecky's recipe. I give to you Willie Hates, Baby's Blood Cure-All Tonic. It'll cure what ails ya.
Tested by hundreds. Possible side effects: diarrhea, dizziness, fatigue, hunger, heart failure, hives, vomiting, anal leakage, wet farts, bleeding eyes, swollen thighs, severe blisters, painful permanent erection, overdraft fees, sex, gambling, love you long time, unusual thirst for blood, death, death, death. Remember, this product is only 1 year in the making.
Well, let's check in with some friends of mine, the Psycho Barbers.
I stopped by on set quite a few times, and it's just I didn't know the house was so beautiful, and I didn't know it was all furnished like that, because I know that they ran haunts there.
They did that in the basement. So
Okay.
when they did,
So
they did that in the basement and out in
because
the
I was
woods.
kind of surprised that it was so beautiful in there.
Yeah.
And then being into a haunted house, I was like, huh? So that was pretty cool. What a thing to do though, and just to say that you've
Yeah.
got to.
Was
film
you there
a
the
movie
night that
there.
we heard the baby?
No,
crying?
I was not.
Oh, dude, yeah. There was 10 or a dozen of us. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, kind of, witching hour type deal. We're all laid out in this one, I can't remember what the downstairs room was called.
Which one?
The one with the
from-
big Lincoln fireplace in it.
Oh, the first room from the kitchen.
Right. There's a
I don't
certain
know. It
name
would be
for it.
like a. It
Like
would
maybe
be
the
like
formal
a
dining
side,
room at
a
one
formal
point.
dining room. Yeah.
But we're all there filming our scene. I'm laid out in front of the fireplace next to Bobby because we're trying to be low key. And we're filming Andy's lines, I think it was, at the time. And I did hear a baby crying. Paid no mind to it. We're all like, got no sleep. So it's Team No Sleep even made that joke. But as we were filming, Bobby stops in the middle of that and he's like, "Did you hear that baby crying?" And I went, "Yep." That was about it.
That was it. And nothing
Continue
else
filming. And then we talked about it like 3 days later.
Oh, really?
It did not show up on audio, but everybody in that room
Oh, that
heard
just
that
gave me
baby.
cold chills.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the caretaker of that, Scott, he'll tell you all about that baby and the background of the baby that apparently died there 100 some years ago or something like that, that's still heard to this day. So there was at least 8 to 10 of us in that room, a couple of us in the kitchen.
Everybody heard it.
Everybody heard that baby.
Wow.
So pretty strange.
Yeah.
But it leads off to one other thing about that is, like I said, I was key grip back to that point. 3 days later, the old lady's working there. She fit right in just like somebody had been there from day one. Nobody questioned it, not even Bobby. So it's just like go, go, go. A day or two after that, I went to lunch. Came back. As soon as I walked back into the Hannah house, Bobby walks up and catches me like by the shoulders. "I'm glad you're here. You're going to be the audio guy." So that's how I got into audio. And I was just like, wow. So I seen the last audio guy holding this big ass bag, and it seemed like it had more buttons. I'm just imagining more buttons because I'm just like, that seems really confusing. Next thing you know, you got this guy in your face, and Bobby,
Yeah.
right
like-
there, like, "I'm glad you're here." And at
He's
first, I'm
Marine.
just like, what?
He's a Marine talking to you like one of your soldiers.
Right, exactly. Next thing I'm strapped up with the bag going, okay, I got the freaking stick with the mic on it, and it's like, okay, I don't know crap from crapola right now. We're just going to kind of fake this until we make it, as they say.
Yeah,
And
figured it out though, right?
it worked out really, really well. Like I said, from that point on, there had been 2 or 3 of us that did it. Once I got to it, I thought, this is my end. Because apparently nobody really cares to do audio. But to me, somebody that doesn't know anything, I'm like, if you're doing audio, I'm right up in the center of action. No matter what's going on,
Yeah.
I'm right
You're
there.
right.
So I was just like, it's actually a great spot to fall into. And 300 hours later, you're like, "Hey, did you get an email again from Beth?" Yeah, we got more
Yeah.
filming.
We're filming.
It's a lot of work.
As
A
well.
lot of work. Yeah, but it is worth it. Jocelyn, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to hear your story about. You got into the effects contest. I know you won first place. And then. This year you got to be a judge, but that's not what I want. When you got to do Sid Haig's makeup.
So that was an absolute jaw dropper. Unfortunately, not one of the main makeup artists for the photo shoots, the professional photo ops, he had a family emergency and had to leave. I ended up being right place at the right time, and was basically just asked if I could take over doing Sid and Bill's makeup. And I was in such shock that I had no clue if I should say yes or no. And I literally there for like 5 minutes with my friend Chris Blair and my girlfriend Nicole Carbello. I ended up I was like, yes, no. Yes, no. I don't know if I can. Should I? I don't know. And Nicole's like, yeah, you have to. And Chris is like, you just can't fuck it up. Like,
Yeah, no pressure.
excuse my language, but no pressure at all. And I was like, yeah. And he said, in an hour. And I was like, hold on. If I'm doing this, I need to call in my right-hand man. And I had to call in Erin Trimble, and I wanted her to come in and do Bill's makeup, and I do Sid's makeup, and we both knocked it out. We got their makeup done in an hour and had
That was
them ready.
for a photo shoot for Devil's Rejects.
Yes, it was a Devil's Rejects photo shoot with Sid and Bill. And
Yeah, that's awesome.
it was amazing. It was an absolute pleasure. It was a blast.
It swelled my head the next time that you got to do my makeup on the later movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I totally posted that as quick as I could, and I was just like, she just formally did Sid Haig's makeup. It
Now
was
she's
dead.
doing mine.
Yeah.
And I was next. Like that put you somewhere, but it's just like, I felt good about it.
Yeah.
It feels good. I mean, I get really nervous when people like ask me about it and stuff because I absolutely loved him. I've loved him since I was a little girl. Like I was 5, 6 years old running around and like I was a fan. I've watched horror since I was born, basically.
What's the hardest or most uncomfortable things either one of you have had to do while filming?
You go first.
Oh no, you go first.
I don't know if it'd be hard or uncomfortable. I mean, with doing audio, I had to be below the seats of the two girls in a bar scene. One of them being Michelle Morris and Julianne Philpott.
Uh-huh.
So I had to be tucked below the bar, having my mic there. I mean, basically being, leg to leg or whatever, while they're doing their little skit. Legs falling asleep, trying not to bump the mic next to anything. And then one of them has to spill their beer on the other. Kind of startled me a little bit. Kind of banged the mic like on one of them, and like we ended up doing a retake, but it was still like that was just a really hard position to be down there and pay attention and being completely out of sight.
Were they spilling beer on you?
Amazingly enough, not.
Huh.
But it's just like occasionally people walk behind you, right? And they're supposed to, but certain people might walk in the bar that weren't necessarily supposed to be part of the scene.
It's not a bad spot to be, though.
No, but they all want to look at you. So as soon as one of them like really glances at the guy
I've
between
seen
the
both
chicks
of those
doing
shows
audio,
before.
it's kind of a cut, retake again.
Yeah.
So you're there for like an hour, doing that scene. But that really wasn't the hardest thing I did. The hardest thing I think would be in the movie later, where you pretty much just had to make up lines on the spot, kind of go with it, figure out your character. Here's some ideas, and now we're going to put you up on this stage in a marketplace scene. So you never really did what you consider real acting at this point in time. And now you're going to make up your own lines, and there's a stage that's taller than this desk. So, man, it's all a focus on you. I wrote my own lines. They're on my phone. Read them time and time and time again. We're getting ready to shoot. Read these one more time. Stick them back in my pocket and just try to go for it. It worked really well. But then after that, they do like a dozen more things. So you might not be on camera, but I still got to repeat the same lines over and over and over again. So
Yeah.
it's just like, you weren't good at it. You were good by the end.
My job was really easy in that scene, actually.
Yeah, I had to rip her top off.
Hey.
And the first time, like, I did it wrong or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
or-
The first 3 times.
I'm gonna guess
She had
I'm gonna
piercings.
guess that wasn't
Yeah.
your most uncomfortable thing you've ever done.
Actually, so I'm not gonna say it was that. Like, yes, it was painful for the first couple of rips off, but I prepared myself. I mentally knew that it was gonna be a little painful.
How many
and,
takes did he have to do?
What was it? 8?
8. You ripped her
I
shirt
think
off
8 or
8
9.
times.
At
I think there were a
least.
couple of gag ones where he just wanted to screw up the scene so that we could do it again. Like, I swear.
Now, plead the fifth on that.
Oh,
But
boy.
the first 2 times I did it, I like wasn't even really looking at her. kind of when I did it. You know, my girlfriend is out there watching all this, and she's not jealous at all. But I'm just a very courteous gentleman to, you know, who I'm with. So I'm like,
Yeah.
initially I was like doing it without even really looking at you, and she's just got fresh piercings in her nipples. That's what was the whole
I was
big
like
deal.
8 days freshly pierced.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So I could tell when I
Yeah.
looked back at her, like the first time, she's gonna give me that look, like, oh. I was like, oh, I did it wrong. Yeah.
I made it
Go
so
up, not down.
I made my own tearaway top. So like my whole little outfit was a little skirt that I made, and then I made a tearaway top so that he could tear upwards.
Sound like an NBA basketball player.
Kind of. Well, it definitely didn't. It showed a lot less than that, but it tore just straight up. It was a straight up tear. So
Here's a screwy thing for doing some improv, like we were doing. Make up your own lines, improv the rest of it. It's great when everybody's doing the same exact thing,
oh yeah.
right? But those guys out there, I don't know if they're getting more worked up every time they got to see her boobs or whatever, but they did something different every time. And you're trying to feed off this one thing worked.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's a group of them over here, they're saying different things. Just kind of roll with it. You know, we're doing enough takes that I'm sure it doesn't really matter, but at the time I'm like, well, that changed.
Yeah.
So we can't go off them, so.
Yeah. Makes things a little confusing.
I mean, everybody's having a good time with it, so I mean, it's not really a shot at them, but it's just like, you know, you kind of feel like you're spotlighted up there and like, all right, you know, Joe Blow guy over here didn't do the same thing that worked the last time, and that made me do a certain thing to feel more comfortable at how I was delivering my lines and how I was grabbing your shirt or whatever, you know. So it's just like they come with more energy, so maybe it's a good thing because then I kind of deliver with a little bit
Yeah.
more energy because
As-
they're acting more hostile. So
As they got more hostile within the group, your lines delivered and like it. I don't know how like you spoke into the crowd like it.
right,
What would you say like your hardest thing you've had to do this?
Hardest thing to do, I'm gonna say was, it was more awkward for me, was having to lather a very furry man with you.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah.
that's hilarious.
Lathering the very
With
furry
Vaseline?
man. Yep, Vaseline.
That was
and then,
awkward.
yeah, and then baking them and caking, cake batter
Yeah.
out in the sun. What, that was like 6 hours of makeup with no electricity, just baking him in the sun.
Yeah.
And then it
We made a bird
literally
body.
was a second, 2
But he's
seconds
covered
on
in
scene.
hair. Back area, he got carpet back.
Yeah,
back.
yeah. Had to Vaseline
He's a
him down
carpetbagger.
first.
Right.
Super furry, lots of fur. That was definitely, I would say, the one. It was definitely, I mean, nothing. Not that it's not hard because everything is hard, but I don't think I've came across something that was too over challenging that I felt like it.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'll tell you one thing. Whenever I'm slaty and I've got to get to a location like after I slate and then get and settle real quick, every time it's always that one of my knees want to pop or like one of my legs get stiff and then you're just standing there and you're like, I can't move because you're on creaky boards almost all the time. But I'm going to say another one of my awkward moments was having to lather the penis for... the alien penis for Witch House.
Oh,
Yeah, remember the giant tentacle?
yeah.
Yeah, that one was
How big
fun.
of an alien penis are we talking about now?
I think it was taller than me, wasn't it?
It was something. We'd have to ask Lee.
Ah,
that's
yeah, Lee.
Lee's packing that.
He would have enjoyed that if he wasn't freezing his ass off. We had him standing on a box.
Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
we were standing behind him with our backs to him, like trying to keep him warm. And he's just like wearing that latex suit, dude. He's dying.
Yeah. That was a cold set. There's been a lot of cold sets dealing with the cold on
Yeah.
set. Hand warmers, hot hands everywhere.
Well, hey, I don't want to cut us short, but I know we got some things to do and stuff. But I want to thank you guys for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
I wish
Heck
you
yeah.
guys the best of luck. I know we're going to do more stuff together, and
Oh, of
you know,
course.
it's cool to see our team grow and how we have grown all together. It's pretty exciting.
We still all got a lot of things in the work, and the nice
Yeah.
thing about creative friends, I mean, the world's kind of been shit for a little bit, but your creative friends are the ones out there still doing great things, still putting stuff on social media that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
So appreciate
Keeping the
those kind of
faith.
things, and then coming
Yeah.
and doing something like this. I mean,
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah,
You know.
Keeping the faith in blood, guts, and gore.
blood, guts, and gore.
Yeah.
So, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
2020.
Oh, I can't let this go without going. One nice thing, me and you are both friends with Michael Ocho.
Ocho. Danger K, and we're out.
Peace.